திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஆடும் வரிவேல் அணி சேவல் என பாடும் மணியே பணியாய்க்கருள்வாய் தேடும் கயமா முகனை செருவில் சாடும் தனியானை சகோதரனே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். உலகலாம் உணர்ந்து ஓதற்கரியவன் நிலவுலாவிய நீர்மலி வேணியன் அலைகள் சோதியன் அம்பலத்தாடுவான் மலர் சிலம்படி வாழ்த்தி வணங்குவாம். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். நேசம் நிறைந்த உள்ளத்தால் நீளம் நிறைந்த மணிகண்டத்து ஈசனடியார் பெருமையினை எல்லா உயிரும் தொழையெடுத்து தேசமுய்ய திருத்தொண்ட தொகை முன் பணித்த திருவாளர் வாசமலர் மென்கடல் வணங்க வந்த பிறப்பை வணங்குவாம். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, ஏகம்பத்துரை எந்தாய் போற்றி, பாகம் மண்ணுரானாய் போற்றி, பராய்த்துறை மேவிய பரணே போற்றி, சிராப்பள்ளி மேவிய சிவனே போற்றி, அண்ணாமலையம் அண்ணா போற்றி, கண்ணாரமுத கடலே போற்றி, காவாய் கனகத்திரளே போற்றி, கைலை மலையானே போற்றி போற்றி. வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக விளங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற பெருங்கருணையினாலே ஞானத்திரள் சார்பாக பெரிய புராணத்தை நாம் ஆங்கிலத்திலே தொடர்ந்து சிந்தித்து வருகின்ற பாங்கிலே இன்றைய தினம் காரைக்கால் அம்மையார் புராணத்தை எடுத்து சிந்திப்பதற்கு திருவருள் கூட்டியிருக்கிறது. காரைக்கால் அம்மையார் should not be forgotten by any Saivite. Her works in 3rd to 5th century was tremendous. Her padiyams, poems, at that time, that is before 18 or 17 centuries back, if you think of it, what a service, what a marvelous service she has rendered. Actually, the people, the historical researchers, they claim that those centuries were not very favorable for Saivam or Tamil. The first, second centuries were okay, but about 3rd to 5th century, there was a tremendous decline in the fame and name of Tamil. At that time, she was sent by Lord Shiva to create new energy in Saivism. She has composed the padiyams. As a matter of fact, she has set the trend how to compose a padiyam, how it should be in the form, its form, everything she designed. She offered 2 padiyams for Tiruvalangadu. Those 2 padiyams were set as examples for the Arulalas, the saints, the mentors who came after her. In the 7th century, Tiruyana Sambandar came. When he approached Tiruvalangadu, he was reluctant to enter the town. He was hesitant, and he remained in a mud in the border and asked others to go in and have a darshan of Alangateswarar. But he didn't enter. When people asked why, he said, my mother, my beloved mother, Karaikkal Ammaiyar, walked on her hands upside down. Throughout this town, how can I put my foot on the sand? It was so sacred that I could not enter and put my feet on them. So he remained in the outskirts of the town, and when he was there, Alangatappan Devarsingam appeared in his dream and asked him, "You have not composed a song for me here." When he demanded, Sambandar woke up and composed the Padiham. Even though the Padiham was dedicated to Tiralangadu, it was not offered in Tiralangadu, only at the outskirts it was offered. So such a great value was attached to the history of Karaikkal Ammaiyar. In the Parayanam of Tirumurai, people, when they publish Tirumurai, they publish only Karaikkal Ammaiyar's Padihams first, and then subsequently they will publish any other song. So they gave the first place priority for her songs. So any Tirumurai book will start only with Karaikkal Ammaiyar's works. It was followed long years back, but subsequently the trend changed. Nowadays they don't follow that, but previously it was the custom to print first the works of Karaikkal Ammaiyar, to print any Tirumurai book. So such a value was attached to her songs, and her time identified by the historians should be between 3rd century to 5th century, but most of them claim it should be in the 5th century. Even if she lived in 5th century, it was before 1700 years back. And if you look at the Padihams, how civilized, how much grown up in values Tamil, that can be understood on seeing her and going through her works. She has given the proof that the music, the tunes were originally composed by Tamilians. The 7 ragas, they were found only in Tamil, and a lot of musical instruments she was mentioning were of those used by Tamilians at that time. So the musical value of Tamilian could be best understood by her works. Okay, such a introduction may not be sufficient for her height and value, but still we must understand that Karaikkal Ammaiyar paved the path for composing Padihams on Lord Shiva. She composed 2 Padihams in 2 tunes. One is called Indalam, and another one is called Nattabadai. The first one was composed in Nattabadai, and the second one was in Indalam. So to pay the respect Nyana Sambandar composed his first son Padhigam in Nattavadai, and Sundarar composed his first Padhigam in Indalam. They followed this to show their respect for the great lady. She cannot be compared with anybody else. Such a noble life she led, and she and every Saivat should be appreciating and should be paying respect every day for Karaikkal Ammaiyar. Another thing I want to add, if you go to any temple, you can see the 63 Nayanmars in either in stone or in iron metal. If you just look at them, you can see that only Karaikkal Ammaiyar would be in a sitting posture, whereas all other Nayanmars would be standing. So it was deliberately done. She could not be asked to stand. So she was the senior most. People thought about it like that. So she was worshipped. She was in the temples to perform pujas in the sitting posture. So Karaikkal Ammaiyar, we should be very much proud of, and you must think that the liberation of Tamil women in those days cannot be taken as very simple. They had very, very advanced thoughts, and they performed social duties in an exemplary way. She thought that her birth meant only for praying Lord Shiva and paying respect to him and composing Tamil verses for him. And she completed her life successfully. So she completed the mission for which she was sent by Lord Shiva to this earth. Okay, let us go into the storyline of Karaikkal Ammaiyar. In the name itself, we can understand or infer that her story starts from Karaikal, and she belongs to Karaikal. Karaikal was a very famous port town since very long, and even today it was a port, and the trade was going on in the port in a very, very rich way. See, the whole the Chola period, it was a commercial center, as a matter of fact, and it was inhabited by a thriving merchant community. The merchant community dominated the Karaikal, and they lived in huge numbers, and all of them were very rich. Almost all of them were possessing their own vessels, sailing on the ocean to go away and to reach cities, towns along the shore, and they were doing very beautiful trade, and they were doing. All the merchants were very rich, and they were doing the business in the coastal and international trade they were doing. The merchant community in the city was to be appreciated for their following dharma and their discipline. They were very much afraid of God, and they were their habits were very, very nice, and they followed dharma, and that they depicted their lives in such a way to live in a respected way. Most of them were the devotees of Lord Shiva, and they were also very liberal to donate to the welfare of the temples, and they created so many nibandhams, and they were very keen to develop and safeguard the Saivism in the city. In those period, Karaikkal was attached to Chola kingdom, and the Chola kingdom spread along the coastal area up to Nagapattinam. So, in Karaikkal, among the merchant community, a notable and noble person was there by name Dhanadatta. Dhanadatta was an ardent devotee of Lord Shiva, and he did a marvelous business, and he sailed along the coastal area, and also he did international business, and he was having an amazing wealth, and he was blessed with a girl child. He thought that Lord Shiva has blessed him to send Maheshwari, Uma Maheshwari, to his home as his child. So he thanked God, and he loved his daughter to the maximum extent. He loved the child and brought her up, and he was very keen that his daughter should not be deprived of, should not be denied anything she wanted. He provided everything she wanted, and he took very care to bring her up, and in a very what can we say, that very sophisticated way of living he provided for his daughter. But on the contrary, the daughter was a never demanding type. She never asked for anything from his father. She accepted whatever given. Whenever her father asked her, "What do you want?" "I am having already everything, my dad. Why should I want any more?" She would be saying like that. From her childhood, she was attracted towards Lord Shiva. She had mentioned by herself, herself mentioned, "Oh my Lord, from the day when I started speaking, I uttered only your name. She was saying in her song. பிறந்து மொழிபயின்ற பின்னெல்லாம் காதல் சிறந்து நீ நாமமே உன்னுடைய திருப்பெயரே நான் சொன்னேன் செப்பினேன் என்று சொல்லுகிறார். Such was her attachment to Lord Shiva. And when she was going out, when she was going to school, or when she was going to other places, when she came across Sivanadiyars with holy ash smeared on the forehead and also wearing Rudrakshams, when she happened to see them, she would be bowing before them, and she would be falling at their feet, and she would be getting vibhuti from them. Some or other, she was very much attached to these adiyars. She was fascinated and by the appearance of an adiyar. It was the appearance of Adyar is marked by the holy ash and Rudraksham. So whenever she came across such Adyars, she never hesitated to go before them. She would be prostrating before them and she would be asking them the vibhuti to be applied on her forehead. Such was the nature. She also at that age, she also she was giving the Adyars whatever she was having. When she was having something given by her father, when she happened to meet the Adyars, she would be giving. So such was the nature of that child. Not only that, she would be performing small pujas also. Small pujas to her. So such was the childhood of Karaikkal Ammaiyar. So Dhanadattan named her child Punithavatiyar. It is because she is very pure. She is very pure. She was pure in her thoughts. She was pure in her habits. She was pure in her manners. She was pure in her talking. So she was pure in every respect. That is why she was named Punithavati. Either knowingly or unknowingly, our Dhanadattan named her as Punithavati. Some people would be very sacred and pure in the outside external appearance. But how about the internal appearance? The internal thoughts? See, actually the purity is dictated by the love shown by her. Anybody, if you want to say he is very pure, means then he should be marked by his love. That is the real grade or mark we should make. So when we say that the child was very pure at that stage, she was full of love, pure love. That pure love reflected in her thoughts, reflected in her speech, reflected in her actions. So such was her childhood, and she was also very bright. Whenever the teacher tries to impart her knowledge, she would be already having it. The teachers were wondering at her knowledge, wondering at her skill, and they thought that God has gifted her a lot of virtues. So the time was going like that, and when she was old enough to get married, Dhanadattan kept her inside the house, and it was the custom of the merchant community not to send the girls, matured girls, without any escorts. So they would be asked to remain in the house, and their movements were also restricted in the house. It is because it is very precious. Anything precious should be safeguarded very carefully. That was the attitude. So that was the attitude. So when the girls reached maturity, in those days, parents would not be allowing them to go out and wander anywhere. Whenever they go out, they would be taking their child along with them, and they would be the girls would be under the scrutiny of the parents whenever they go out. So they would be very careful, because the girl's life should be given or shaped in a proper way. So likewise, Punithavadiyar was also restricted in the house. She didn't go out, but she performed puja and she was there. A foster mother was posted to look after her, and that mother also showed a lot of love for Punithavadiyar, and she was carrying her, her welfare and other things. See, Punithavadiyar naturally she was very beautiful, very learned, very what we can see is very good mannered. So the news spread over the merchant community. Everybody was thinking that such a girl should be coming as daughter-in-law for our family. But Dhanadatta was very rich. He is a rich merchant. He was a rich merchant. So people were hesitant to go and ask for his daughter. They compared the status and they were reluctant and hesitant to approach Dhanadatta to get his daughter for marriage. So people were trying how to approach him, and at that time in Nagapattinam there was one great merchant who was having the same status as Dhanadatta. This merchant named as Nidhipati, he was having a son. He was called Paramadatta, and he was a very shrewd fellow. He was a shrewd merchant, and that son was also in a stage of marriageable status. So Nidhipati thought that if we get our son married to the daughter of Dhanadatta, both of them would be happy. The perfect match for my son, not only in beauty, in education, not only in other things, but also in status. It would be a perfect match. So let us try to get Punithavadi for our family. So he decided, and he requested some of his relatives to go and approach Dhanadatta in Karaikkal, whether he was willing to give his daughter as daughter-in-law for Nidhipati in Nagapattinam. He also asked the relatives, you just tell him that we would be taking utmost care to look after the daughter-in-law. We know he was having only one child, one daughter, and we would be taking utmost care to look after her, all welfare. So you just tell Dhanadatta that she would be happy if she got married with our son Paramadatta. So the people taking the message, they went to Karaikkal, they met Dhanadatta, and they narrated all the details they collected from Nidhipati, and they also told Paramadatta, shrewd merchant, very good, nice boy, and he was also handsome, and he would be a perfect match for Dhanadatta's daughter Punithavadi. So he can go for the settlement, marriage arrangement, they were suggesting. By the time they reached, Dhanadatta also collected information from other areas about Nidhipati, and he was convinced about his status and other relevant facts, and finally he agreed to get his daughter married to Paramadattan. So the people went happily and they returned to Nagapattinam and told Nidhipati that Dhanadattan had agreed to give his daughter to Paramadattan. The marriage was arranged. It went on very nicely. The marriage took place in Karaikkal. Dhanadattan spent lavishly because his only daughter. So he spent lavishly and he conducted the marriage. Everybody wondered about the marriage and they were talking about the marriage for weeks together. So such a fashion he conducted the marriage. The marriage was conducted very nicely. People were very happy about it. Both families very happy. And one day, Nidhipati told Dhanadattan, okay, it's time up. We will return to Nagapattinam. We will take our daughter-in-law. Whenever you find time, you come to Nagapattinam. It is your house there. Don't hesitate to come over there. Come and visit our place. And also, you visit your daughter whenever you want. So, we are going to Nagapattinam, he said. And he took the couple, Nidhipati took the couple to Nagapattinam. Everybody went to Nagapattinam. Here, Dhanadattan in Karaikkal, he felt very lonely and it was very difficult for him to push the days without his daughter. He felt so much depressed that he didn't know what to do without his daughter. The whole house, even though with full of servants and other workmates, for him it seemed to be completely empty. So he decided, I cannot live without my daughter. I have to go and get my daughter here, some or other convincing Nidhipati. So the next day, the day after the next, he waited for 2 or 3 days and he went to Nagapattinam. And he told Nidhipati his position. See, I lived only for my daughter. I brought her up. She was a motherless child. So I brought her up. I showed all concern about her daughter. My whole day went along by seeing her, by hearing her, by talking to her. The whole day went. Now I couldn't do anything. I felt very much depressed. So please allow me to take my daughter along with my son-in-law. I will not be asking them to live in my residence, but I will build a separate house for them. I will also set up a separate business for my son-in-law. I will invest. I will not worry about my investment. Let him come without a single pie. Let him come there. I will provide everything so that under my nose, if they are living, I would be very much satisfied and convinced. I can visit them anytime I want. So please kindly accord to my suggestion, he was asking. As a matter of fact, it was not customary to leave the son-in-law in the father-in-law's house, son in father-in-law's house. But Nidhipati, on seeing the reluctant mode and very dejected status of Dhanadattan, he acceded to his request. Okay, I allow my son to go over to Karaikkal. but he would not be living with you. He should be living in a separate house. So people should not say that Paramadattan was living with his father-in-law. That shouldn't be the case. He should be having another separate individual house. Dhanadatta agreed and he assured that everything I said would be ensured. So he returned to Karaikkal with the couple, built a new house with so much of sophistication and so much of facilities, features for his daughter and son-in-law. Also, he started a new business by liberally giving investment for his son-in-law. So, Paramadattan started a new business for his son-in-law, a separate business, not at all connected with him in any way. So, Paramadattan started a new business and started living with Punidavadiyar. Both of them were living peacefully. See, people around the city were thinking that both of them were leading a very nice, peaceful life. And as far as Paramadattan was concerned, he was also very happy to lead a life with Punidavadiyar. Even though Punidavadiyar was leading a married life with Paramadattan, she completely dedicated her thoughts to the Lord Shiva. Her thoughts were full of Lord Shiva, and she was dedicating all her thoughts and other things only to Lord Shiva. She would be longing to have darshan of an Ayya. Whenever she happened to see an Adyar, she would be thinking that Lord Shiva is giving darshan. Lord Shiva in mobile status, he is giving darshan. So, whenever she happened to go out with her husband, she would be looking for any Adyar to cross her. So, such was the status, and nobody can predict the status of Punidavadiyar. Nobody was predicting, nobody was able to predict, or nobody had the talent or skill to find the status of Punidavadiyar. Externally, she looked like an ordinary woman. Like an ordinary woman. Nobody can differentiate it. But there was a very big transcending was going inside her. Inside her. As a matter of fact, it was like a fire in a basket. People saw only the basket. Nobody could see the fire inside. He was there. Things went on. One day, two people came from Nagapatnam and visited Paramadattan. They were from Nagapatnam. They came on some other business, but they wanted to meet Paramadattan. It is because Nidhipati told them, if you go to Karaikkal, you meet my son, convey my regards. All those things he was saying, Nidhipati was saying. So, these people came over. As a mark of respect, they carried 2 mangoes from Nagapattinam. From Nagapattinam, 2 mangoes from the same tree of special type. They carried it from Nagapattinam to Karaikkal because they were of special taste. So they offered the grapes, mangoes to Paramadattan, and they exchanged the asks and other related subjects, and finally they departed. It was not time for lunch. It may take more time, but some or other Paramadattan felt that these mangoes may be delivered to the house. Let them not be here, he thought. Why he didn't know, nobody knows. So he asked his servant, go and give these mangoes to Punidavadi in my house. He sent. That fellow took the mangoes and came and delivered to Punidavadi. Punidavadi got the mangoes and she was keeping them aside. As usual, she was thinking only about Lord Shiva, his fame, his name, his works, all those things were coming across her mind, and she was thinking about him, enjoying, and she was cooking something. You must see that even though people were very rich, it is a customary that a wife should cook for her husband. She may be having assistants, but it is the customary that wife should cook for her husband, because nobody else in this world except the mother would be caring for the health of a man, except the wife, except mother. So that is why in our tradition, the wives will be cooking the food for their husband, and they would be aware of the tastes and other likes and dislikes of her husband, and she would be cooking, she would be taking care to cook. So that is why the merchant families, the wife will be cooking for her husband. Likewise here also, see, Punidavadiyar was cooking for her husband. She made ready the rice and she was about to make ready the side dishes. At that time, an Adiyar came over there. When he was standing at the gate and was calling, Amma, is there anybody? Immediately on hearing the sound, she came to the entrance and she saw the Adiyar. She was so pleased to see his appearance. Today I am blessed because God has sent an Adiyar for me darshan. So I had darshan of Lord Shiva today. So she was overwhelmed and she was greeting him to come inside. And he was also coming in and he was saying, oh ma'am, I am very hungry. Can you please give me something to eat? Some or other I am starving, as a matter of fact. Kindly give me food. Punidavadi was not at that time prepared for feeding him, because only rice was ready, nothing else was ready, side dishes was not there. So she thought what to do. Some or other, it seems that this man could not wait long, and if I go and make ready the dishes in the kitchen, he would be starving. So she thought of it and she came to a decision that the rice may be served, the curd is ready, and she thought of the mangoes. She thought that 2 mangoes were sent by him. So one of them would be given to her, another would be given to Paramadattan. Is it not? It should be the customary. Husband has sent 2 mangoes meant for the couple. She thought. So she thought that let me spare my mango for this Adiyar. So for the curd rice, let him take the mango also. So she offered the mango and she served the curd rice. The Adiyar was very much pleased. He said that my hunger was quenched. I was starving when I entered the house. Now I am going out with a full heart. Let God bless you. He blessed and he came out of the house and fled away. Now she started preparing the curries, that is the side dishes and other things. The cooking was going on. During lunch hour, Paramadattan came from his shop to the house, came inside and asked his wife to serve him food. So she started serving him the food and also she brought the mango and she offered it on the banana leaf. He took the meals, he consumed the mango, ate it. Since it was a special mango brought from Nagapattinam, some or other he was so attracted to the taste. Without having a thought about his wife, he asked for another mango also. This mango is very sweet. Why don't you bring the other mango also? I want to taste it, he said. Do you think it is right for a man to do so? To do like that? So whenever something is tasty or special, he must be first thinking about his wife and tell, it's very tasty, you go ahead and eat it, it will be very tasty, enjoy it. He must be saying like that. But what the fellow did, he asked Punithavati to bring it again, to bring back the another mango also to bring it. Nobody could have asked like that. This Paramadattan exhibited his selfishness. It was disclosed by this instant. But she didn't mind. Punithavati won't be minding it. She won't be understanding the meanness, the small mind of Paramadattan. She would not be minding it. But the problem is another mango had already been given to Adiyar. It's not there. So when she knew that it was not there, so without the permission of Paramadattan, I had given the mango to an Adiyar under the impression that mango was meant for me. But it was wrong. It should have been done. The mangoes were sent by my husband. So he only reserved the rights to decide the mango to whom to be given. But what can she do? She was not able to disclose immediately and she entered the kitchen. She didn't know what to do. She was bewildering, she was shivering. If she sent a word to her father, he would have brought a bundle and bundle of mangoes. She was so much wealthy. Not only that, she was having a father who was shedding the love on her tremendously. But what about that moment? At that moment, the problem should be solved. Immediately she thought of her father. Father means not Dhanatatta. Her father, Lord Shiva. She thought of, oh, my father, what to do? I thought the mango was earmarked for me, was sent for me, and I gave it to the Adiyar. But my husband is demanding that mango. I am in a very, very difficult and situation. What to do? Kindly help me, she asked. The moment she was asking and praying, she found a mango in her hands. Immediately she understood that God has gifted her with the mango. She rushed to her husband, gave the mango to him, and felt happy, problem solved. Without knowing, problem just starts. She gave the mango and so okay, everything solved, no problem, she thought. But the fellow consumed the mango, he ate the mango. It was given by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva gave the mango from where anything we do to an Adiyar directly goes to Lord Shiva. She gave the mango to the Adiyar. It had gone to Lord Shiva. படமாட கோயில் பகவர்கொன்று ஈயில் நடமாட கோயில் நம்பர்க்கங்கு ஆகா நடமாட கோயில் நம்பர்க்கு ஒன்று ஈயன் அது படமாட கோயில் பரமர்க்கு ஆமே. Whatever you give directly to Lord Shiva, it will not go to the mobile Shivam Adiyars. But whenever you give something to mobile Shivam Adiyars, naturally it will directly go to Lord Shiva. So it was proved here. The theory was proven. She gave the mango to the Adiyar, and the mango was again given back Lord Shiva to Punitavati. Punitavati handed over the mango, she put the mango on the leaf and she left. He consumed the mango. Somehow or other, this mango gave him jnanam, instinct. He immediately found this mango does not belong to the mango he ate already. Both of them was told, the visitors told that both fruits were taken from the same tree. Oru marathu kani, they said. So they should taste only the same way, 5 or 10% here and there. But the second mango 100% contradicted the first mango. This fellow got an instinct that this mango does not belong to the group of that mango. It's something special. No, I cannot agree. He immediately stopped eating everything and he started inquiry. Punitavati, I don't understand. See, this mango, I had never tasted such a taste in my life. Mango will not be like this. It is a special taste. It doesn't belong to that group. Please tell me how you got this mango. This was not the mango I sent. She was bewildering, she was hesitating, she was thinking what to say. Some or other, Paramadattan was asking a truth. See, whenever a truth is demanded, it should be shared. If it is not demanded, nothing wrong in keeping it yourself. It is dharma. The dharma says, you need not share the truth if you don't want. If it is demanded, then you must share the truth. So at that time, she was bewildering. She was blinking. She was hesitating a moment what to say. Finally, she came to the conclusion that the truth should be shared. So she told him the truth. What truth? It started from the Ayyar who came for food. It started from that. She said, an Ayyar came. He was very hungry. He was asking for food. Somewhere I wanted to help him, help that Ayyar. It was so depressing to see his face. So I wanted to quench his hunger. So I tried to feed him. At that time, no curry was ready. Side dishes were not ready. Only rice was there. So I gave him rice and curd for side dish. Since nothing was available, I gave him the mango you sent through your servant. I was under the impression that since you sent 2 mangoes, I thought that one mango is for you and another one is for me. So that is why I shared my portion, my mango to the Ayyar. So he consumed and went away. Punidavati, I can understand up to this stage. Someone came, you offered the mango and you tried to feed him and that Ayyar went away. Very nice. But how did you get this mango? Tell me. I am just trying to tell you the thing. Just be patient. I would be telling you. She was narrating the version. What she narrated and what happened next, we would be continuing our story in our next episode. So it was an wonderful example how God helps the helpless people. Whenever you feel helpless and if you surrender 100%, God comes in person and renders all help to the downtrodden. So with this we are ending, and I request you to subscribe to Jnanathiral, and also I request you to subscribe on behalf of your friends and relatives. Introduce Jnanathiral to other people also, and please visit our website, Facebook, and you may also donate for the articles in Jnanathiral and Jnana Kulandai, the entire story of Triyana Sambandhar in comics. It's available for children. If you get this book for your child, the child would not only would be knowing about the story of Jnana Sambandhar, but it would be cultivating good manners and good habits. So get this book and gift it to your kid, not only to your kid, any kid you come across. With this I am just concluding. I would be reciting the 5-lettered mantra 5 times. Kindly follow me. Tiruchitrambalam. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Tiruchitrambalam. தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.